President Donald Trump unveiled a model for a massive double-decker White House State Ballroom, a $300 million privately funded project intended to replace the existing East Wing. The new structure, spanning approximately 90,000 square feet, is designed to host major state functions and accommodate nearly 1,000 guests, a significant increase from the roughly 200-person capacity of the current largest space, the East Room. The design features a lavish, neoclassical style with gold accents, drawing comparisons to the ballroom at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence. The administration touts it as a necessary and long overdue addition that will modernize the executive residence and eliminate the need for unsightly tents for large events. However, the project has ignited considerable controversy due to its scale, its potential impact on the White House's historic character, and the administration's decision to begin demolition of the East Wing without full regulatory approval. This represents the most significant structural change to the White House in over 80 years. Reasons and consequences. Reasons for the project. The primary drivers for the ballroom's construction stem from the president's personal ambition and a recognized functional need. Addressing capacity constraints. The most cited reason by the administration is the functional inadequacy of the current White House spaces, particularly the East Room, for hosting large modern state dinners and diplomatic receptions. The new ballroom is intended to provide a permanent, dignified, and high-capacity solution. Leaving a permanent legacy. As a former real estate developer, the project is a highly visible way for President Trump to stamp his architectural vision on the White House grounds, creating a physical monument that could long outlast his presidency, similar to how past presidents have made their mark, e.g. the Truman balcony. Personal aesthetic preference. The gilded, ornate, and grand design reflects the president's personal taste for opulence, moving the White House aesthetic away from traditional restraint and closer to the style of his private properties. Private funding. The claim that the project is $300 million privately funded shields it from direct taxpayer criticism, framing it as a gift to the country from the president and patriot donors. Consequences and criticisms. The project's consequences primarily fall under historical preservation, political transparency, and architectural integrity. Historical and architectural integrity. The 90,000 square foot structure is nearly double the size of the original White House residence, approximately 55,000 square feet, leading critics to argue it will overwhelm the iconic neoclassical design and disproportionately alter the carefully balanced White House complex. The demolition of the East Wing, which houses the First Lady's offices and visitors' entrance, is seen by preservationists as an irreparable destruction of historical fabric. Controversy over transparency and process. Demolition began even as officials confirmed the project lacked final approval from the National Capital Planning Commission, NCPC, the federal body that traditionally reviews major capital changes to the nation's capital. Critics accuse the administration of overreach, disregarding established preservation protocols, and prioritizing speed over due diligence. Political symbolism. Opponents view the lavish, multi-million-dollar expansion during a time of broader national economic concerns as a metaphor for a second Gilded Age and a tasteless use of the people's house for the benefit of wealthy donors and the president's ego. Prediction and solutions. Prediction. The immediate future of the ballroom project is highly likely to be contentious, but unstoppable in the short term. Since demolition of the East Wing has already begun, reversing the project's physical progress becomes vastly more complicated and costly for future administrations. Completion is likely. Given the president's personal commitment, the commencement of demolition, and the influx of private funding, the physical construction of the core structure is highly likely to be completed before the end of the president's term in January 2029, even with potential legal and regulatory skirmishes. Persistent political football. The building will remain a powerful political symbol. Future administrations may attempt to alter the interior design or purpose of the space to distance themselves from its association with the current controversy, but the sheer size and presence of the new structure will permanently redefine the White House grounds. Solutions and mitigating actions. For critics and future occupants, potential actions center on oversight, ethical boundaries, and design modification. Enhanced regulatory oversight. Future Congresses or executive orders could mandate stricter compliance with preservation guidelines and a more robust review process by the NCPC and the Commission of Fine Arts for any construction on the White House grounds, eliminating the loophole used to begin demolition without full approval. Transparency of funding. To address concerns over donor influence, a mandatory publicly accessible list of all private donors to any White House construction project should be required, along with a cap on the maximum allowable private donation to maintain ethical distance between state functions and personal financial interests. Post-construction reimagining. If the structure is completed, a future administration could engage the White House Historical Association and other architectural bodies to temper the interior's opulence, perhaps adopting a more restrained classical style to harmonize better with the main White House building and make the space feel more like a part of the nation's historical collection rather than a private resort.